Buckle up, my friends, because this is a doozy. The reason we are making this video, even though this is a topic that you can say is literally quite old, it's almost 6 years old after all. This was posted and talked about earlier in the week, and I, like the hockey-loving nostalgia fan that I am, wanted to dive into it. So, I want to show off an Instagram post by Hockey Forever from earlier yesterday that goes out there and talks about a piece of NHL history. Take a look at this. A declined trade between the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Edmonton Oilers, which would have seen Leon Draisaitl get traded for Nikita Kucherov and Anthony Cirelli. You might be wondering what's the context behind this. Well, the post actually does have some text that we can go out there and read. I'll just go out there and read this here. After getting swept in the first round of the 2019 playoffs, the Tampa Bay Lightning reportedly offered Nikita Kucherov to Edmonton in exchange for Leon Draisaitl. The Oilers said no, unless Cirelli was added. Tampa declined and walked away. This was a decision that led to back-to-back Stanley Cups. Now, this is just an Instagram post, and I don't want to go out there and dox any more people in the likes and the comment section of this post, so let's just head over to an article published last year by Michael DeRosa on the Hockey News. This is a report of the same conversation, a Lightning and Oilers Kucherov-Draisaitl trade. According to NHL insider Jeff Marek, the Lightning and Oilers had trade discussions about Kucherov and Dry back in 2019. During Tuesday, December 17th's episode of the Sheet podcast, NHL insider Jeff Marek revealed something truly shocking. According to Marek, the Lightning had trade discussions during the 2019 NHL offseason that would have sent Nikita Kucherov to the Oilers in exchange for Draisaitl. Here's the quote from Marek: "There were conversations between the Lightning and the Oilers, and the two primaries changing were Kucherov for Draisaitl." Marek added the Oilers wanted Cirelli, which may have been why the deal did not go through. These talks occurred after the Lightning tied a then-NHL record with 62 regular season wins before being swept in the postseason by Columbus. Kucherov had just won the Hart Memorial Trophy, Ted Lindsay Award, and Art Ross Trophy that season, but had a nightmare postseason that saw him get suspended for Game 3. And that was a really big deal. The Kucherov suspension, the Tampa Bay choke. It's weird to say it was a choke, because they lost 4-0. They didn't even have a chance. But they probably should have had a chance, because they were the most winning NHL team of all time at that point. So it was very, very bizarre to see Tampa Bay dominate the NHL, to see Nikita Kucherov go out there in that 2018-19 season and put up, how many points did he have that year? 128 points in 82 games, 41 goals, 87 assists. He only had 2 assists in 3 games in the playoffs because, of course, Tampa lost, and Columbus was on top of the world. They said, screw it, we don't care about all of our guys leaving, we are going to lock and load, we are going to get everybody we can to just contribute in the now. We do not care if we're going to lose out on anybody else. And if you go over to Columbus and just look at their roster in that time frame, you just gotta respect the bit here, man. Artemi Panarin, Matt Duchene, Seth Jones, Atkinson, Werenski, Pierre-Luc Dubois, Alexandre Texier was over here, Ryan Dzingel, Josh Anderson, David Savard, oh my goodness, so many Montreal Canadiens. And then you had Gavrikov and Wenberg as well. This Columbus Blue Jackets team led by Panarin and Duchene was so exciting to watch, and they ultimately caused what would have been a blockbuster trade to go down, if it actually went down. If you go back over here, Nikita Kucherov obviously redeemed himself the next few years, getting even more trophies, a 100-point season, or excuse me, a 100-assist season. Yeah, don't worry, he's had a number of 100-point seasons, but he became one of the only NHL players to get 100 assists in a season, which coincidentally was the same year that Connor McDavid got his first 100-assist campaign. And of course, the Tampa Bay Lightning did end up winning multiple Stanley Cups, and they made the finals 3 years in a row. So Nikita Kucherov, I think he kind of worked everything out all right in his own psyche. But for Leon Draisaitl on the other side, if you go back to 2018-19 and you review the player that Draisaitl was in that time frame, yeah, he was just barely breaking out here. He had his first 100-point season, 50 goals, 55 assists, 105 points. This, of course, was before he ended up ultimately winning the Hart Trophy and Art Ross. Those all happened in later dates. I mean, it was the next season that Leon Draisaitl became the best player in hockey. And then the years to come, I mean, 110 points, 128, 106, 106. This season he's on pace for 95, which is, still good. I think 95 points, a lot of folks would say, yeah, that's a really good player. But for Draisaitl, it's below his standard. Draisaitl has also been very productive in the Stanley Cup playoffs, as has Kucherov. Lots of points, lots of games played, but just considering the fact that Draisaitl is 30 and Kucherov is 32, you would understand the idea behind Tampa wanting to shake things up. Draisaitl also is a little bit bigger than Kucherov. He plays a premium position in center. He also has a very lethal one-timer, as does Kuch. I'd say that Kucherov is just a more trickier and deceptive creative passer than Draisaitl is, but Dry is just no nonsense. He fires pucks towards the goal. He just forces offense at will. And if you think about how things shaped out in the years to come, you could have seen a world where Nikita Kucherov was on that right flank alongside of Bouchard and McDavid, and Leon Draisaitl instead was dishing out passes to Steven Stamkos. Just thinking about the dual one-timer threat, heavy slug shots from Stammer and Dry on different flanks. Hedman would have so many options to pass to as a power play quarterback D-man. But ultimately, I think both teams, in retrospect, are very happy with how things went, because Tampa Bay made the finals 3 times in a row, they won twice. Edmonton made the finals twice in a row, they lost twice. So unfortunately, even though for the Oilers it hasn't happened yet, there still is a number of positive results out of this situation here, despite the fact that once upon a time, Tampa wanted to get this trade done. Let's go out there and read the rest of the article over here. As excellent of a player Draisaitl is, not going through with trading Kucherov was clearly the right call by the Lightning. Following their 2019 collapse, the Lightning won back-to-back Stanley Cups, and Kucherov was a massive reason. In 48 playoff games during their Stanley Cup winning runs, he had 15 goals and 66 points. Kucherov also won the Art Ross for a second time in 2024. So obviously, so much value out of Nikita Kucherov, and the multiple Stanley Cups will go out there and rub it in your face even more. When you think about Anthony Chiarelli, the other guy that the Oilers were asking for, I mean, I don't really think Chiarelli is that relevant of a player these days, if I'm going to be honest, but he's still fine. He's doing his thing for Tampa Bay over there, and obviously, you talk about Kucherov, Draisaitl, these guys are in a tier of their own, way above Chiarelli, even though I'd say Chiarelli has had a pretty good year. 28 years old, and this season he is on pace for 66 points. I mean, he is just under a point per game there, after scoring 59 points in 80 games last year. So, whatever it is the Lightning were able to do with guys like, I'd say, Brandon Hagel and Braden Point, you're probably seeing similar things out of Chiarelli here too. His production is just going to explode with more opportunities being opened up for guys, and with Jake Gensel, of course, getting out there, feeding these players on the power play. So Tampa, I'd say they're pretty happy with it. Edmonton, if they had a Chiarelli-like asset with Kucherov, who knows, maybe they have themselves a Stanley Cup or 2 by now. But I think, in retrospect, both guys are pretty happy with keeping the players that they got. With that in mind, though, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about this entire trade idea? Kucherov and Draisaitl, a rejected deal from years ago. I hope you enjoyed this Swedish Outros 9, and bye.